What's going on, Priscila? Welcome to your consultation with me, Forrest the trainer, but I'm basically like family to you, and you're basically like family to me. So I already went over everything in your application, went over everything when it comes to the finances, when it comes to your injury, when it comes to what your goals are, what your concerns are, all the things. So what's going to happen in this video is I'm going to go over the top 3 things that I believe are holding you back, how to fix those things, and things that you can start doing now. What would be my best recommendations for your current condition, for your current situation. And so even if we don't end up working with each other, that you have the tools and resources available to you that you can start implementing immediately on your own. I'm going to tell you how my program works as a whole, and I am going to make you an offer that so you can work with me, because I have a million options available. But the only 2 things I ask is, 1, you don't ghost me. I don't think you will. 2, just if you think, hey, he made this offer and I can't do that, I'm close, or I would maybe be able to do this. I have so many different payment options if you were to want to work with me that I can't put them all into one video. So whenever I do give you an offer, I just want you to be like, hey, if I can't do that, what other options do you have available for what you're talking about? Because I got probably way too many options available for things you can go for. So let's go ahead and get into this. When it comes to everything that I saw in your application, you want bone and joint health, you want to be able to burn body fat, you want to be able to maintain as much skeletal muscle mass that you can, because that's what's going to make your body be able to do more the older we get. And due to the age, due to you being active all the time, being a registered nurse, you are going to be on your feet constantly. You're going to have the stress on your joints, stress on your ligaments, stress on your cardiovascular system. Things get stressful, especially in the hospital. So I can totally understand, like, hey, I don't want to be dependent on cardio. I don't want to be having to do this. I don't want to have to worry about breaking a hip if I were to hike, bike, or do all those things. So the 3 things that I believe are holding you back from that and how we can fix them, I'm going to go into that right now. So the first thing that I'm going to say is going to be holding you back is going to be the mindset. And now, like, I grew up with you, I know you well enough. You are not a weak-minded person. I know that for a fact. I will never even assume that you're a weak-minded person, because you are very, very strong-willed. But what I will say is, if there's already a fear only because of age, then I just want to shift the mindset up a little bit. And the reason I say that is because we're already active, because of the goals we have, and because of the injury and situation that we're in, the mindset needs to be getting as much movement and motion as possible, but also being able to build those things, because there's not an exercise for bone density. There's not an exercise for ligament strengthening. There's not an exercise for tendon strengthening. Like, there's mobility exercises to make things work better, but you can't make bone stronger. That's going to be all nutritional and supplemental. So when it comes to that, I just want you to get out of the mindset of, due to XYZ that I can't control, I can't do this. There's always something that we can do, but the application of thought process is a little skewed. It's not far off, like you are medically educated and trained, so I'm not going to try and tell you that you're wrong. I just want to get a little bit of shift in the mindset, go into a different gear, because 2 things can be correct at the same time. So what I want you to know is that you can do a lot, you will be able to do a lot, and how we're going to do that is going to go into the 2 other things that I believe are holding you back. So that one being the biggest, it's just a shift of perspective. So the number 1 thing holding you back is going to be the mindset, shift of perspective. And since you've never been in this situation before, as in this is the only year in your life you've been at this age. This is the only year in your life you've been at this age with this job, with a child at University of Texas and all this stuff. This year is the first year it's ever happened. So we've never been in this situation before. Second thing that's going to be holding you back is going to be the nutrition. So now, when I say nutrition, you're doing a lot of great things. You're prioritizing your protein. You're making sure you get a lot of lean protein in with the chicken breast, and that's your favorite food right now. You're making sure that you are prioritizing protein. That is an amazing, amazing thing that so many people struggle with, and you're not. So why is it something that's holding me back? It seems very restrictive. Just from the application, I could be completely wrong, but just from the application, even what you put in here, it seems very restrictive. And I want you to be able to enjoy a little bit more. I want you to be able to do more things when it comes to food and branch out and not lock yourself in a cage. Like, you're not going to have to lug around meal preps all the time in a suitcase. I want you to be able to cook more meals at home. And yeah, if you are going to be hauling them around, I want it to be more stuff that you can enjoy, more stuff that you miss, more stuff that hits the nostalgia parts of our brain, that makes us feel more happy and more satiated, because we get to eat that thing that's supposed to be bad and still be able to make strides towards our goals. Okay, so how do we fix that one is, hey, I'm going to still prioritize my protein. It doesn't matter where I get it from. Now, when it comes to micronutrients, that's like our vitamins, our minerals, and other things of that nature. That's going to be where like joint health and digestion and gut health and hormone response and biomarkers and bioresponses are going to be in. That's what you're going to get them from mostly. But when it comes to the body fat, the skeletal muscle mass, and things of that nature, that's going to be from macronutrients, just being protein, carbs, and fats. And since you're prioritizing protein, you're already in a great position to do all that. But being in a cage when it comes to our nutrition can end up doing more harm than good, and I don't want you to be in that position. I want you to be able to branch out with that. So how do we do that? Like I said, cooking more meals at home, branching out, and macro matching. So saying like, hey, this meal is the quote unquote healthier meal, chicken, rice, and broccoli, but this meal over here has the same exact macros or maybe the tiniest bit worse. I'm still going to be at the same calories. You can still eat that meal, and I hope you do eat that meal, because it's going to make you happier, and the happier we are, the easier progress is to be. Then the third thing that's going to be holding you back is going to be the training knowledge. And it's not that you are ignorant, it's not that you are inexperienced, it's not that you have not lived enough life or gone through any of this stuff enough to be able to know exactly what your body needs to do. How do we fix this? It's how do I train for how I'm eating and for the specific goal that I want to achieve at this point in time. Now, is this goal that I want to achieve in my 2 to 3 month, or my 6 to 12 month, or my 5-year plan? Does one line up for the other? Does one put you into the better position for the next? The answer to that right now is no, but you're not in a bad spot. You're not going in the wrong direction at all either. So how do we fix that? It's, hey, because I want to have better bone density, I don't want to risk breaking a hip, I don't want to risk joint and ligament health, like you're already struggling with the torn meniscus and you're kind of going to be laid up for a while pending surgery. So how do we fix all this? It's making sure we have enough skeletal muscle mass and doing enough mobility for our tendons and ligaments to have the fluidity of motion, to give you more range of motion, to give you more time under tension and mechanical tension while doing specific movements and resistance training, to get it to where the muscles respond quicker, the body responds quicker, which means the metabolism responds quicker, to where fat loss and hypertrophy, muscle building, happens faster. And when all that lines up and happens faster, results happen faster. And the faster we get the results, the more happy we are, the more satisfied we are. And that's the thing we want to do. So how do we implement that? It's, what muscles do I need to grow to get a benefit out of it for my specific goal? Then that's where I would come in. You do all those things, so on and so forth. What exercise do I need to do when it comes and line up with my nutrition to make sure I am maintaining certain muscle groups while in a caloric deficit, while focusing on fat loss? Do all that, line all those things up, and you will be having a streamlined GPS trip for this journey we call a fat loss or a building phase. Depending on where we are and exactly where we want to go, since you want to burn some body fat right now, it would be leaning towards body fat first. That's how we fit all those things and how we line everything up and get the stars to align for how we want to sleep, how we want to live, how we want to eat, how we want to train, how we're going to recover, all in one, on one straight path. Okay, now I want to talk about how my program works as a whole, because there's a couple things that go into my program, and I can see how it could be or seem overwhelming, because it's a lot of apps you need to download, there's a lot of resources that you have available to you, and a lot of different spaces for you to learn and be able to track things to where I can monitor them, especially since I'm not in person, because I am able to offer more than any in-person coach would, because most in-person coaches or personal trainers are limited due to the legalities of working underneath a facility. The first thing you're going to get is my customized training app, and on the dashboard of this app that you will only get invitation via email. You cannot go to the App Store and download this. You will see your calendar, and then you'll see all the things you have to do throughout the week on the entirety of the calendar. So if we were to go to your workouts. You'll see everything you need to do with how-to videos of me or someone else doing the movement that I'm prescribing to you. You will see your sets, you will see your reps, and then there will be a little box where you will be logging your weight, so I can be tracking that, making sure you're achieving progressive overload, and I'm able to track your progress as the program goes along. The second thing is going to be the nutrition coaching, and the first thing you get is a 1-week meal plan guide. And the reason I only do 1 week is because I don't want you hauling around a suitcase full of meal preps or stuff like that. I want you to be able to see what a perfect world scenario would look like, and then I would be teaching you what it's going to look like when it comes to tracking your own macros and calories, and making sure I can moderate this and adjust this whenever we need to if we're in a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit, making sure we are making strides towards the goal that we set in the beginning. Both of these are notification based, so whenever you start a workout or miss a workout, I get a notification. So this client missed a couple days because they had an emergency going on. That's what I end up seeing, and we were able to communicate through these situations. Third part is going to be the accountability, and the first part is going to be the check-in form that you have to fill out every week that goes over the entirety of your week outside of the information from the app that I will go over and give information, input, question, concerns, comments on, and make sure that we are staying on track regardless of anything that comes up in our life, so I can make adjustments and see how you're feeling, how you're enjoying everything, and just keep you motivated and keep you disciplined throughout this time. And the other part of the accountability that's really fun is my Discord, which is going to be like a huge group chat with all my fitness people where we have general chat, meal logs, nutrition questions, meal venting when you want to vent about the things you're going through when it comes to your food, recipe ideas that you can do yourself that other people that are my clients uploaded, definitions of things that I'm putting in your program that you have no idea what they mean. I put that in there. Then I do a podcast every single week to drop free value for you guys, just to make sure that we are learning the who, what, when, where, why when it comes to this thing called fitness. I'll be able to go through your body fluctuations with your body weight and making sure we're achieving that goal of fat loss, because nothing is linear, especially progress. So throughout this time, the accountability is going to be the funnest part for me, because I'm going to have more information than you do, and I'll be able to help you make sure that we are guaranteed on the right track for our goals that we set in the beginning. So when it comes to the training, the nutrition, the accountability, and the community, this is how my program works as a whole. So that is how my program works as a whole and everything that you're going to get. So the offer that I do want to make for you is not going to be 3 months. I typically do like a 3-month, 90-day transformation / body recomp. But where you are when it comes to how you're eating, how you're training, and the injuries that you've sustained and injuries you want to prevent and the goal that you want to have, I believe the best course of action would be a minimum of 6 months. Now, we can always talk about doing 3 months, 90 days. We could always talk about a year, but those are the 3 options I have. But I think the best option for you would be the 6 months. And if you were to work with me for 6 months, I just want to give a frame of reference. Whenever I was an in-person trainer working under a gym, I was not allowed to give nutritional advice. I had to put someone on a scale, put their sex, height, and weight, and they would go off of BMI. And BMI is the most trash form of measurement that there is. It's been debunked for over 40 years now, but they still use it. And they would give you 3 meal suggestions based off of the Surgeon General's 2,000 calorie a day diet. And that's just horrible, because your body at a minimum typically needs about 12 to 1,500 calories just for your organs to function properly. And then when it comes to your activity, since you're on your feet all the time, your basal metabolic rate, the amount of calories you consume or could consume without gaining an ounce or losing an ounce, is probably going to be much higher than that. And I want you to be able to have the metabolism to eat 2,500, 3,000 calories without gaining a single ounce, and like going into a cut or a fat loss phase to where you can eat over 2,000 calories and still burn body fat, or close to 2,000 calories and burn body fat. Like, it's just that's just where it was. And I wasn't allowed to do that, even though I'm a certified nutritionist. I was not allowed to contact you over the phone. You were not allowed to contact me over the phone. You were only allowed to contact me over the phone when it came to you scheduling or rescheduling your 1-hour session. And to work with me 3 days a week for 90 days, 3 months, in person in the gym would cost you about $3,000. It was like $29.87 something, but it's $3,000, and I didn't like that. So for you to work with me with everything I described when I told you how my program worked, instead of 3,000, and this can go as many days as you want with all the nutrition, with all the accountability, with the group, with everything, and 24/7 access to me, it would be 1,500 if you were to do 6 months. So you get a lot more bang for your buck that way. It's a lot better of an investment. Now, like I said previously, I have way too many payment options that I can't put them all into one video. So I'm gonna send this to you directly in a link. And like I said, all I ask is that you don't ghost me. They just give me a response and like, hey, I'm out. I can't even do anything like that. I'm not gonna be able to do for XYZ. I do not mind if you just tell me no. I just don't. This is just part of my business. This is completely free. You got some free resources and free tips to when it comes to things you can fix that I believe would help you immediately and help you see results. But if you would like to take things more seriously and go to that next level, you can go ahead and work with me, and I can see about what options are available to you, and I can get everything worked out for you. But outside of that, it's great to see your name pop up on my social media. It's great to see your name pop up in general, you and Jackie as well. So love you. Talk to you soon. I will be sending you this through Facebook Messenger. All right? Deuces.